Hello, beautiful vegans. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mariquita Solis, vegan empowerment coach, and my mission is really to support vegans who are struggling, who don't have a powerful voice, they're not advocating for themselves or for our planet, to get them up and in power and radiating with light to be a vegan light to this world. So, thanks for joining us. And if you're watching, please give StreamYard permission to use your name. And please ask us questions. We'll be looking for the comments. Let us know where you're joining from. Today, I'm excited to welcome Dianna Varner. Dianna is a cancer survivor, and she's full of excitement and she's got so much potential and light to share to this world. So I'm very honored that you're here, Dianna, to share your cancer story with us and this triumph that you've been blessed with and that you made happen. So welcome, Dianna.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Well, yeah, and where are you joining from?
Phoenix, Arizona.
All right, yeah, Phoenix. So what's the temperature there?
Let's see. Right now, what we are. Right now we're 61. We're going to get to a high of 74.
Okay, that's wonderful. We were like 12 degrees last night. Oh my gosh.
It's 11 o'clock here.
Yeah, we're 1 over here, and it's up to 42, which is a tremendous blessing. So I see James is watching us. Hi, James. Thanks for joining. We are going to be talking about what changed in your life. Let's start out with you as a child, Dianna. What were you brought on, and like what kind of food choices, or what was yours? What were you raised on? What kind of? Because I was raised on, well, the standard American diet. With also my parents were from Mexico, so we had a lot of beans and tortillas. The beans and tortillas were good, but then all the heavy meats, they made my stomach. I had stomach issues as a child. So,
well, a typical breakfast would have been cereal. We had Captain Crunch, Cheerios, Frosted Flakes, Fruit Loops. That's my school day. Pop-Tarts. On weekends, I know we'd have eggs and bacon and toast or sausage and those things for breakfast.
The standard American diet, right?
Right.
Did your mom or anyone did you ever bump into vegan or vegetarian or plant-based whole food or any of that?
No, that never crossed my path that I know of until I was an adult.
Well, what happened what happened in your life to bring you to where you are today?
Well, my husband at the time had heart disease, so we slowly was changing things. We believed in the olive oil, the oils, the chicken, skinless chicken and vegetables and things like that. And so we went that way, thinking that was the healthy way. And then it was, I developed the cancer, and that changed my mind. Once my doctor actually told me about Dr. Joel Fuhrman's book, Eat to Live, my Dr. Robin Screen, and which she was amazing and very comforting to her patients, treating them as humans, and giving hugs every time you'd see her. But she told me about Dr. Joel Fuhrman, and I was taking a nutrition course at the time because I wanted to learn more about nutrition with cancer. And so I read Dr. Fuhrman's book, and it just like lit up it's amazing what food can do to your body. I'm reading about foods can feed cancer and foods can fight cancer. I didn't even know what a cruciferous vegetable was. I never even heard the word cruciferous, which is broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage. And I found out a radish is a cruciferous vegetable. So it just changed my direction on, I really wanted to go this way, and I tried his plan for 6 weeks.
And how
And
old were you then?
I was right around 50, I guess. Um,
And so
and
you were really pretty rooted in your behavior already, but you.
oh yes, I've got stories to tell of some of my behaviors, even as an adult and as a child. I mean, whenever we used to have Halloween and go trick or treating and have Halloween candy, well, I, my mom would catch me sneaking, getting into my candy, and me and my brother, we had separate bags, and my candy would dwindle, and I would eat my candy so quick, and it would dwindle, and my brother still had candy. And I mean, by Christmas, mine was gone. He still had candy. So he wasn't, he was a thin kid. You know, I wasn't fat, but I wasn't skinny. So I felt bigger just because I wasn't skinny.
Well,
But
especially with the pressure of being a female, being female, right? And all, oh my gosh, one of my good friends in high school. I never knew she was anorexic. I mean, later later it was known, that she had been anorexic for years. And I ate lunch with her all the time. How could I not know that? Yeah, I mean, eating is such a big thing, and the pressure to be skinny, and then we feel bad about ourselves, and we don't know how to. Well, we don't have the education, like you were saying. The skinless chicken is supposed to be healthy, and well, we're just very misled. So that was when you were 50, and then what did you read? Dr. Furman's book, you said?
yes, I read the Eat to Live book by Dr. Joel Furman, and he recommends trying it for 6 weeks. So I tried it for 6 weeks, but I wasn't exactly 100%. I followed mostly the program during the week. I was working in the office, so I followed it during the week of the work week, but on the weekends, I I didn't. I just kind of still did my thing. But I did notice in that 6 weeks, because I had a lot of body pain, which I don't. I know I had a lot of body pain during the chemo treatments, but my body still felt like I had arthritis in my entire body. And so I also had plantar fasciitis in my left foot. I had um, previously, I had high blood pressure when I was going through treatments. My blood pressure was real high, so I was on blood pressure medicine. And so I, when I'd get out of my car to go to work, I would just, oh I could just feel it in my body hurting. So after 6 weeks, because I did not consume dairy or meats or the cheeses, except on the weekend, I might have
Uh-huh.
had some. But after the 6 weeks, I noticed I got out of my car, I wasn't in as much pain, and my plantar fasciitis went away. I still don't have it. And later on, during some of that time, my doctor ended up taking me off my blood pressure medicine. And so I haven't been on my blood pressure medicine since. And
It's amazing.
so I don't take anything now except B12s and D3 and
Yes, that's exactly. That's wonderful. Yeah, and the medicine has so many terrible side effects.
right.
So
So
that's wonderful. Um, I'm seeing JJ's here and Rachel's here also. And all right, so what? So when you were going through this change of diet, what did your husband, was he doing it with you?
Well, no. I do have my fiance. Yes. No, he wasn't doing it with me. Um, so no, not at the time. He eats more that way now.
Hmm.
So we're trying to implement more into him. He's
Well, that's
currently,
very common. It's
yeah,
very common, right? I mean, like, it's very, it's very common for us to change and then want everyone else to change, but I mean, they're not ready to change sometimes. So, I mean, sometimes it takes a health crisis, and most of the times it takes a health crisis
yes,
for people
that's
to change. Most people don't just say,
yes,
"Well, I've decided to let go of all this tasty food, right, that they love." I mean, that's what they're used to. So, I mean, who am I not to say? Of course, it's tasty for them, right? And who wants to let go of that? So,
oh yes.
yeah, I mean,
It is difficult. I mean, I feel like um, foods are certain foods, are addictions for people. I mean, it was just like for myself, as a kid, I liked the sugar and I liked the sweets. And now my mom wouldn't let us drink a lot of sodas, but she would drink sodas after we went to bed. But we would have milk and things like that. But I back in the 90s, I mean, I drank Coca-Colas. I would drink equivalent to a six pack by 5 o'clock. I had one for breakfast, my mid-morning snack, my lunch, my afternoon snack with a candy bar, and then on the way home from work, I'd have a soda. And I remember I used to hide the sodas, the Coca-Colas. I would hide it at home, and I would get angry if I would say, "Who drank the last of the Coke?" Because I would just, it was like that Snicker commercial, "Rawr," and I had to have it. I was so upset if I didn't have it, and I was told, if you have that big of a problem with that, you should think about getting off of that. So it's been, a long time. I don't drink sodas. I mostly just drink water. If I do I'll have unsweet tea or herbal teas.
yeah,
Um,
I think that's really. Someone was asking me recommendation about drinks the other day, and I recommended the hot teas, right? Hot teas and water. We've really stepped away from just drinking water. We have all these flavored waters. I was thinking about that the other day. That as a society, we've stepped away from really what's natural. And well, I mean, in all aspects, with the cruciferous vegetables, like you were saying, and those are so healing, right? So healing.
yeah, especially after reading some of the scientific results of the foods that actually stop the cancer growth, and then other foods that were animal products would um, exceed, the growth of cancer. So I just it's like, how come the American Cancer Society don't promote? I just don't know. It's just
No,
um,
I don't know. I mean, I saw something the other day that said we have to find a cure for cancer, and it's like, what? How about let's prevent cancer through healthy lifestyle and eating, through what we put in our mouths. I mean, people don't believe how powerful the connection is between food and health. I mean, when we are eating all this processed food and heart disease, obesity, and all these things are on the rise, especially in our children. And how can they not see the correlation? It's very sad. I think it exploded when it started with the, well, it all started with the TV dinners, right? When
oh,
food became so convenient. And I remember like the first fast food restaurants coming up. I was so excited, like I was a little kid. Oh my gosh, I'd be begging to go to those restaurants, and it was something thrilling. And
Right.
yeah, and now it's sad. I mean, people have to work two jobs and they don't have time to cook, and the food's not affordable, right? It's very hard for people these days to get healthy food. It's not available and it's very pricey. It's cheaper to drive through a fast food restaurant, and when you're having to work two jobs and you don't have time.
Yeah, and I find though that I when I when I do go out, um, and I even went on a cruise one time, and I ate vegan the whole time. I would ask them to, I would modify, things off the menu, and I think I can go almost anywhere and ask them, to modify. I know that they usually will have more salt and probably some oil, but at least if you are out and about, there are ways, if you're conscious of it, to make those changes.
Well, that
Um,
is very true. And you have to speak up for yourself. I love that you're saying that, because sometimes I know a lot of people might go to a restaurant, or maybe I might not say, not a lot of people, let's just say some people might go to a restaurant and they'll say there's nothing on the menu. But the fact is, there's vegetables back there in that kitchen. There's things, and chefs also get bored with making the same thing, and sometimes they like an adventure. So if you ask them to, hey, this is what, if you, of course, if you ask them nicely, they will accommodate you. So it's important that we speak up for ourselves.
right. And I did get to where, if I would know I'm going to go somewhere, of course, I'd look at the menu online, see what I could modify. I would take my own balsamic vinaigrette dressing. I would, and then I would take edamame in my purse. Uh, it was so funny. I took the crinkled carrot chips, and I took some cucumbers one time to a Mexican restaurant, and I'm eating the salsa with my carrots. And we knew the staff there, and they would come over there like, oh, that's interesting. They'd want to try my carrot in the salsa, and they even modified a dish for me to be a veggie avocado with zucchini, squash, enchilada, and then in their system they called it Dianna's enchiladas.
That's wonderful. Yeah, I love that. And that's a great idea, carrot sticks and salsa, because I'm scared of those when you go into those restaurants and they have the chips. It's like, and they're so addictive. And that's the thing. Well, the foods in restaurants they're made to be addictive. And so we have to be very careful of that. So anyway, that's great tips. Do you have any other tips for going to eat in restaurants?
Well, Mexican food's my favorite, but
Uh,
I usually will get, some of them have black beans, they have steamed vegetables, salads, or you can even get a bean tostada, and I tell them no cheese and put pico de gallo on it. Um, Chili's, when I have gone to Chili's, because some of my family likes Chili's, they have a chicken chipotle bowl, but I just tell them no chicken. I get the black beans. It has rice. It has the lettuce and the tomatoes and the onions. So it's, of course, you see, I go to Mexican even no matter where I'm at, because I just love it.
right. No, I love it too. And I eat a lot of tortillas, in fact, today. I mean, so I used to eat very differently. I used to have my meat and then my two sides, and many times I would have the main thing, and then two, and it's just a side. I would always couldn't have it. Always had to be sides. Now I just might grab a bowl of black beans and tortillas and eat that and just enjoy that. I guess, I mean, I'm really getting out of these programmed things as children. Like, we have to have this, and we have to have this, and we have to have our milk. Oh my gosh. I used to can't even stand milk. And anyway, it's funny. And then, of course, it never crossed our minds that we're drinking milk from another species. What if they said, okay, well, here's some giraffe milk today? Everybody would be like, what? But I don't. It's very strange the way that way that things work.
Another thing I've noticed since I don't have dairy is I used to get bronchitis real bad once or twice a year. I would have allergies so bad I would have to get allergy shots. I would just be so congested. And I think really eliminating the dairy has cleared that up.
Oh my gosh, I believe it.
Yeah, I can't tell you when I've had bronchitis.
Yeah, because of all the phlegm and I don't even want that in the milk. It's so gross when you think about it. I know, and JJ cleared up her allergies that way too. Right, and dairy causes inflammation, and so that's inflammation. Yeah. I mean, that's in your joints. If you have tendinitis, if you have all these other itises. And then yet I feel so sad for people with arthritis. I mean, their hands are being crippled, and then they're drinking dairy and feeling like they have to. Oh my goodness, I'm so sad, and they're not ready to hear the real truth, And tell me about your friends. What did they think when you went on this diet?
Oh, they were all for me. I've had several of my friends actually had several of my friends have gone plant-based. A friend I grew up with, she went with me to all my chemo treatments, and she's seen the transition. And so I would, of course, tell everybody about it. It's like when somebody gets saved, they want to tell everybody about Jesus. Well, I want to tell everybody about this because I really feel it's the same way in a sense, because it's saving them from, headaches, body aches, cancer, diabetes, heart disease. I mean, the plant-based diet affects all of those things. So, and so she actually has given up meat and dairy also. She's felt better, even though she was an active person. She was a trainer, for at the Y for people. And so she's changed her life. She even got off alcohol. And she tells me all the time how much I've encouraged her. And then I had a coworker that sat next to me that, of course, went through the cancer with me. And she knew I was changing my way of eating. So I would bring in different foods and dishes, and she would tell me, oh, I don't like cucumbers, I don't like tomatoes or this. So until she actually tried it, she's like, wow, that's good. And so I would bring extra to share with her. And then she started eating that way. She said at one time she would only eat one meal a day, and she would go to this taco place and get a huge pile of nachos and gorge on it. And so she slowly converted over to eating plant-based. She lost 40 plus pounds within several months. I mean, it didn't really seem to take her long. We used to bring dishes together to share. She got rid of her eczema. Her digestive problems cleared up. So, it's amazing the things that can affect you.
It is amazing. You're right. And the foods that we're eating are really, I mean, if we're on a standard American diet, we're just dosing ourselves with disease-causing foods 3 times a day. It's scary. I think about all the years that I was on it, and I mean, it's scary to think. Thank goodness our bodies can make it. That I'm still here today after all that. I mean, not all of us are so lucky. I have two good friends that I've lost very young. Um, One had Crohn's disease, and oh my gosh, she would cry and cry after eating. And now I mean, I wish I knew what I would have known then. She loved to eat filet mignon. We worked at a Japanese restaurant, and they would sometimes cook that for us. And anyway, but yeah, it caused her so much pain. And I wish now she's gone. She passed in her 30s. So it's really sad. But now that we have these people that we're making a difference with, I mean, we can spread the news, and you've already changed people's lives, which is
And
exciting.
yeah, and my dad, now he passed away in 2017, but he knew I was changing this way because my dad was a cook. My dad was a cook in the Air Force. He was a cook at the church that he went to, and so he even would change at Thanksgiving when he would make the dressing, and his dressing was so amazing. He changed it over to where he was using vegan products in it so I could eat it. And so he ended up he had a heart attack, and then he had a heart surgery, but then 14 months later he passed away. But after that, my mom knew by me telling her too about plant-based eating and how much it's benefited me. And since my dad passed away with heart issues, my mom, she read a book 40, 50 years ago that got her where she didn't want to eat pork. So she quit eating pork. But after my dad passed away, she decided she didn't want to eat red meat. So that first year she got rid of her red meat. Then the second year she got rid of the chicken and the fish. And so then she's been vegetarian. Now she's dropping off the eggs. And so she does have some cheese, but she's changing things as well. And my daughter, she's changing things. Rachel, she's changing. She started eating more plant-based stuff last year, and so far this year she's been plant-based, vegan. She's working on her health and her goals, and
Oh, that's
so
exciting.
it is so exciting. And then the kids, they'll eat some things. The littlest one, she'll eat more plant-based stuff, but I sneak it in there and they don't know sometimes.
That is funny, but I love that, right? I would sneak it in for my dad too. I just remember he'd be like, "Don't bring me this, don't bring me. I want you to bring me a real burger." And so then we would just like my brother would be like, "Okay, just we would get the real burger, right?" And my dad would eat it. He was like, "Oh, okay," So he never knew the difference. But no, yeah, I mean, it's hard for our parents, really. I mean, who grew up a different way, and that was before all the factory farms. So it's hard to let go of tradition and culture. I mean, especially if you're older. So my parents never were vegan, but my dad, he lived longer than my mom, and I tell you that he used to walk every day, and my mom didn't. She did not exercise. I don't think she ever exercised a day in her life, but she was a wonderful mother. She was very loving, and she was just always smiling and laughing and singing, but she didn't exercise. And unfortunately, we lost her earlier than my dad. My dad, who did walk every day, it made a difference. And but he ate a lot of vegan in the last years of his life. So, and he, again, they were from Mexico, so I really, I'm used to grabbing a corn tortilla, and it's a very simple but really good meal just to grab some beans and corn tortillas, and it's very filling and very good for the microbiome. See, I took the Cornell class, and I really didn't know much until I took that class this past year. about the microbiome and about about nutrition and disease. I knew somewhat, but it was very eye opening. And it's, we have so much power, and it's 3 times a day. If we're eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner, 3 times a day, we make a choice of what are we going to put in our bodies? Is it going to help us or hurt us? And so, just like food can heal, it can really destroy us. And that's what's happening in this country. So, thank goodness you're teaching your little grandkids, right? And you're having such a ripple effect on everyone, your daughter and the grandkids, so that they're going to see, and you're there to inspire them and to show them a new way of eating. And that's very, very, oh my gosh, that makes my heart sing. So,
Yes.
yeah. And do you cook a lot, Dianna?
Oh yes. Yes, I fix a lot of things. I like to use my Instant Pot, of course, and my Vitamix, and I do pretty simple things. I use a lot of frozen vegetables and just throw it together. I I like to use a lot of the vegetables, the beans, um, the pasta, sometimes the lentil pasta, chickpea pasta. Um,
I've never had that. It's good.
oh, yes. Yes, my daughter, she just made she used some, I believe, chickpea pasta. She made her own marinara sauce. Um, so she's creative too. So she puts those things together. I fixed me something a couple of nights ago, which I fixed a big batch of it, so I have it for several meals. And it's a lot of the stir fry vegetables. I bought this big frozen bag from Costco with the snap peas and the broccoli, and so I cooked that up. I put some mushrooms in it, and I like to put some black beans, and I put some brown rice, quinoa, and I had put fresh pineapple in it.
Mm.
And then I used the California balsamic teriyaki balsamic and the pineapple balsamic and put on top. Oh, it was so good.
Oh my gosh, you're reminding me. I asked for balsamic vinegars, like the balsamic glaze, and I got a whole bunch of them for my Christmas, and I forgot that they were in the cabinet. And I actually have a fresh pineapple over there and a lot of vegetables. But that's a wonderful way to be creative in the kitchen. I mean, that's the thing. Once you go plant-based, vegan, I mean, it can be intimidating. You just have to try recipes out and see what works. And that I love that, and I love making my own cheese now, the cashew cheese, which always comes out really good. And you can put whatever herbs in it you want. You can start off with just your little base, and a lot of times I just put that Dijon mustard in,
Oh,
and
yes.
which is really good. I mean, it's really good. I'm not missing out on anything, and it's very simple to make. I just put it in the what's that thing
Air
called?
fryer.
No, I put it in the not the blender, but that other the food processor, the
Oh,
cashews.
okay.
Soak in the
Oh, okay.
cashews, yeah, yeah, and then put them in there, and then I put in whatever however I want my cheese to taste. And but it's very good. And Reverend Richard at the church said it was the best cheese he ever had because he was
Oh,
wanting to taste plant based, and then he really loved it. So I need to make him some more. Hopefully he's not watching. Well, if you're watching, I'll make you some more, Reverend Richard. And someone's saying, please share your
well,
cheese recipe. Okay, I will.
yes, that would be good. I know there's some different ones out there that I've tried, and I know Forks Over Knives has one that's good. And then I have bought the cheese sauce mix from the Well Your Whirl.
How is that?
Um, it's good. It's good. I add cashews to it and mix it up. I put it over broccoli. I put it over potatoes. I love broccoli. I'll steam up a bowl of broccoli and I like black pepper and crushed red pepper. Put some of that cheese sauce on it. It's so good.
Yum,
And
that sounds good. And you have to order that online?
yes,
Okay. No, that's a great channel. Well, is that Dylan?
yes, I have.
Wonderful.
I have a lot of their stuff. Their mushroom gravy, the sriracha sauce, which I love spicy stuff. The balsamic vinaigrette dressing that they have. I like to use the balsamic vinaigrette and the Dijon mustard and put my Brussels sprouts in the air fryer and get them crispy. And then I toss them in with the balsamic vinaigrette and the Dijon mustard. That's real good.
Well,
I
that's good to know because
I
I
like
used to do mine in olive oil. But you're saying that you're doing it in balsamic vinegar and Dijon mustard.
yes. And then I
Okay, great.
like to cook up potatoes in the instant pot, and that way, whenever you have them and they're in the refrigerator, they seem like they get more dense. I like to cut them up into wedges and put them in the air fryer, and I'm eating French fries that's no oil, just very good crispy potatoes. Um,
That sounds very good. It sounds really good. I'm getting hungry now. I don't even remember what I ate for lunch, but I did eat something.
Then I like to make my own salsa, which is really
Mhm.
good, being homemade salsa, and I like to dip the fries in it, and I even put it on a baked potato.
That's great. Yeah, I do that too. Do the kids like to eat like that, or do they think you're crazy?
Oh, well, they love the salsa. They love the
Okay.
salsa. Sometimes they look at my food and think that I am crazy for eating that, but or they don't like the way it looks.
That's cute. Yeah. How old are they?
14, 12, and 8.
Okay. All right. Well, good. They're old enough to understand. And I mean, well, plant based eating affects so many different areas of, I mean, there's so many reasons to be plant based, and like the social injustice, the animals, the health, the oceans. So there's so many reasons to adopt this lifestyle because if we're harming ourselves, we're harming others, and if we harm others, we're harming ourselves. I mean, it's the same thing. Like, how can our earth is not sustainable with this kind of way of eating? It's and it's behind the scenes. I mean, people just don't know. They think I'm crazy for saying this, right? They're probably listening to me saying, "No, everything's fine. She's crazy. She's another vegan nut job or something." Who knows?
I know the little one, she'll tell her friends, "My grandma's vegan." And they'll go, "Is she like the vegan teacher?" Because I guess the vegan teacher, they feel like rude and just, I don't know.
I think
So,
I've heard of that person. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. Well, the whole thing is, yeah. I mean, how to spread the message in a positive way, right? Without, and it sounds like you did right away in the positive way. I mean, you were the example, and that's the most powerful way to share the message is to show people how to take back your life.
yeah. And I know that some people can get, I guess you'd say, offended or it's just like I remember, back in the day, whenever, people can talk about it too much where it makes them feel guilty because it can be done. It's just like when you see someone lose weight and you're not losing weight, but you know, or you're seeing the exercise show while you're eating, you're just sitting on the couch. But it can be done. You just don't have that self discipline or that you're not at that place that you're ready. And I feel like it is a mindset. because even though, you know, I lost, you know, I got on Dr. Furman's plan and I went that way. I lost 40 plus pounds and felt so good, and I was exercising. Now, I'm going to be brave here and tell my weight. And my highest weight was 236 that I know of. I lost down, well, I lost weight and I was losing weight, and I lost down to 171, and I was in a size 12, almost a 10. And I was exercising. I was doing everything really good. You know, I wasn't perfect, but I was doing good, real good. And then COVID came. I got the kids. Just life. You know, I quit exercising. My mom would bring snacks for the kids, like Little Debbie's, and I was taking them, you know, to McDonald's, and then I hadn't eaten, and anyway, I got off track because I thought, well, you know what, it's going to be so many hours before I get home. Okay, let me have something. So I totally lost track, got off plan, ate things I know I shouldn't be eating, especially if I want to, you know, not feed cancer, you know. And I'm thinking, how on earth could I have gone back knowing what I know? But I did. I quit exercising. I got off track. I ate things that weren't, you know, not plant-based. Gained, I gained 58 pounds back. I got up to 230. And, you know, it's like the first time. It's like, how come when your clothes get tight, you don't say, oh my goodness, I need to rein it in. Look, my clothes are getting tight. No, you go buy bigger clothes, or you buy the stretchy pants, and you just keep going. And, you know, I don't know why I let myself go. I gained the weight. I started feeling real bad, you know, my body pain. I had numbness in my arms. Last summer, both of my arms would hurt. I had numbness in them. I've had to sleep on my back because I can't sleep on my side because my arms go numb, things like that. And so and of course, I drank alcohol, and then I was stressed out, so I would drink more alcohol, and and I know that's not good for me either because that increases my risks. And so, but I'm stressed, so then I use it as a tool to relieve stress. And so it was just a cycle, you know, the food, the alcohol, those things were not good for me. And so I decided, you know, I would get mad by weighing myself, but I wasn't losing the weight. So I decided, you know, I'm going to stop. So October 1st, I said no more alcohol. I'm not going to be eating all these things, but I did sneak a few of the kids' little snacks. But January 1st, I haven't had any of that. I bet since August, I've lost 23 pounds. So I feel better. My arms aren't going numb, you know. So I feel better, you know, and I know what to do. I just have to do it. You know, like they say, you know, some people say all diets fail. Well, they fail because you don't stick with the plan. You don't stick with it. And this isn't something that I'm just going to do till I lose weight. This is something that's my life habit change. You know, this is something that I'm not going back to any of those ways. Just like since the first, you know, I've committed myself. I have not had bread. I have not had avocados, even though I love avocados and I know that they're the good fat and I know they're good. But for me, it's like the food addiction thing. I know technically a serving of the avocado is, you know, a fifth of the avocado. Well, who's going to eat a fifth of it? So knowing me, if I get the big avocado, even if I get the big or the small, I'm going to eat the whole thing. And so, and it's kind of like I look at the chef AJ says the eat to the left of the red line, the calorie density. So I know avocados for me is a problem, especially if I want to lose weight. And I would find myself going, if I was hungry or wanting a snack, I'd find myself to go in there and I would just eat nuts. I would eat the handfuls of nuts, which is another thing. It's high calorie, higher fat. And if I need to choose other things while I'm losing weight. I'm not saying those things are bad. They're very good. But if you have a problem with overeating them, then right now I'm staying away from them. I haven't had the breads, avocados, and the nuts. Now I have had hemp seeds and chia seeds in my oatmeal and things like that. But as far as just snacking on those things, I'm not. Now I will probably have them, in a cheese sauce or something like that, because that's a cheese sauce. It's not me just eating them by the handful.
Right.
So I found that something that for me, that's what I'm working on.
Yeah, and that's very important to know really what you need to do to support yourself, right? And I mean, I was vegetarian, vegan, and of course, I think there's not anyone that can't relate to your story of falling down and getting back up, right? And then I love what you're saying about your body, how your body was telling you, like your arms going numb, and probably the pain coming back and these things. I mean, feeling heavy and not having that energy. Yeah. And so taking back your life, it's wonderful. And you know what? We all mess up, and it's okay to fail. Just get back up and be an example, right? And I mean, we have to keep moving forward, and we have to know that it's okay to fail. I mean, I'm very good at failing, so I'd like to say that. So,
and back in years ago when I would go to work, we would always have, during the holidays, it would always be a spread. We would have, every holiday was a spread, and it's like, I think we just wanted to eat. And and I found myself where I would go and pick up a dozen donuts to take to work for the morning breakfast, but I would get 2 extras for me to eat on the way there, because I didn't want people to see me eat the donuts. And so then when I was there, I would only have 1. And
no, I mean, I've done that too. I'd like, that sounds very familiar.
It always just seemed like when they had that, I couldn't stay. It would be calling me, so, and I mean, I had some bad habits. I had habits of driving through the drive-through on the way home, and then I would ditch the trash, just, so it was just those things that, old habits.
You sound pretty normal, right? That sounds very normal. So, welcome to humanity, right? Yeah. But yeah, the main thing is, like, the wisdom. I mean, some people never even, their eyes are not open to this whole food, plant-based, and this new way of life ever. And it's so sad. That's why they're dying of heart attack and strokes and everything. So being an example is wonderful. And we're going up against all these food addictions. So breaking these addictions is very challenging, and that the scientists know what they're putting in our food, and knowing what we where we need to grow. Like where do I need to not have in the house, or how can I support myself better? Like I had just had Lawrence Richardson on here the other night, and he was talking about, if you are going to eat a lot of something, try to have it like apples or something, or grapes, right? Instead of you're eating like a whole bag of candy. If you're eating 2 or 3 apples, it's a heck of a lot better than a whole bunch of candy and chocolates and sweets and stuff. So, just making better choices. Um, I was going to look at some of the comments that we have a billion comments over here. Um, so, let's see here. We've got JJ saying Rachel is vegan. I'm glad she has that encouragement. Yeah. Um, that's wonderful that y'all are doing so well. Um, and here, Rachel saying Mima now is vegan too, the last 6 years. And is that, who is Mima?
My mom.
Okay. So, I mean, the whole family's being affected, and that's wonderful. I mean, it's really great. Um, let's see here, and here's what JJ's saying. If they could see how I felt after less than a month, no pain that I had every single moment, it was gone. No allergies that I had fought with, my weight, my skin. So yeah, JJ had a great transformation too, and energy. She's saying. So let's see her rambling here. I can ramble. I'm making celery juice now. So yeah, JJ is an inspiration too, and so she's got a great channel, Vegan Knowledge. And let's make sure that you have a channel, Dianna. What's your channel?
Oh, it's my plant. It's Dianna Varner, plant-based.
Okay, so everyone subscribe to that. And here, Dianna, and you're on Instagram, right? Also.
Yeah. And it's still it's Dianna Varner, plant-based DI is on my Instagram.
Okay, great. Here's another comment here. God, Willow loves helping in the kitchen, which I think makes her like eating more healthy. Is that your granddaughter?
Yes. Yes, she
Yeah.
likes to get in here. I even bought her an apron. I bought her an apron when she helps in the kitchen. She likes to cut up vegetables. And then she sees me cutting things up. She actually loves, one day we were out at shopping, and they had these chicken nuggets, and they were the Impossible chicken nuggets that shaped like animals. And she goes, "Oh, I want to get those." But I know she was used to the other chicken nuggets shaped like animals. And so I said, "Okay, let's get them." And so she found out that they were plant-based, but she says she likes them better.
Good.
So
that's a win.
She likes to help me.
Yeah, and that's what
she likes to cut up the cucumbers.
That makes a difference when they help in the kitchen and they prepare their own meals. And you all can make cheese and stuff and all that too together. And really, it's really exciting when we can. Well, when we can show others, it's not that hard. This myth of the plant-based eating is so challenging and so difficult. I think JJ was saying, sometimes we just make it too hard in our minds, where it's not that hard. Just start out simple, right? Rice, beans, vegetables, that's simple. And ask for help if anybody's watching. That's why we're here. Dianna can help, definitely. And I'm learning more recipes, and I can help, and we can recommend these great channels like Well Your World with Dylan, and then there's the Esselstyn's, now Anne, and I can't remember her daughter's name.
Anne and Jane.
Yeah, they are so funny with their YouTube channel. And you said Forks Over Knives. So
yes. And when I find that during the day, while I'm working, because I have my work laptop, I've got my personal one, and so I pull up, like I pull up JJ's YouTube. I pull up, Dr. Esselton. I just pull up all these different plant-based um, doctors and information, and I'm listening to that all the time. I'm learning and I'm listening, and it can be simple. You can overthink things, you can make it too hard on yourself. And then it's just like I've heard, you don't have to have, all these elaborate recipes, and every meal, every day, and every meal doesn't have to be different, and all these elaborate meals. You can I find that I'm most successful when I prep up ahead, and I have things planned out. I've got meal preps, that I batch cook. I find that as long as I have something readily available, I'm less likely to go off plan. And it can
Yeah,
be simple,
you're right. It can be simple. And
and
you know what?
like,
They don't. I was just going to
oh
say that
yeah, I
people
was
don't have to. I'm sorry.
just like,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, I mean, you can start, it's simple, having a soup, having a casserole, something like that, when you have batched up ahead of time.
Yeah, that's very good advice. And also, if it's overwhelming, you don't. I mean, take it slow, right? Let's say you're on the standard American diet. You don't have to do it all at once. You can eliminate this one week and see how that goes. And how you're doing, and then just gradually start eliminating. So it doesn't have to be this whole big thing. And as you're eliminating, you can learn about different recipes and how to support yourself. So yeah, that's very important. So let me say this, y'all. If you're watching, we're having a vegan game night tonight on my Empowered Vegans Facebook group. So please look over there for the event. And I'm also starting a group coaching program February 7th, 12 weeks. So that's exciting. I just wanted to tell you all that before you left. But um, so please reach out to me, and we got some great people going to be in there. Animal wisdom. I love learning from animals on our planet, because the animals and the trees and the birds and the bushes and the blades of grass and the sun and the moon are the best teachers. All right, so that was my little commercial. But anyway, Dianna, let's hear some last words for you. And remember, everyone, reach out to Dianna on Instagram and her YouTube. So, what are some final words that you'd like to leave with our audience?
Well, it is, I believe that it's a mindset. I believe focusing on your goals, and the mindset has a big part to do with you staying to what you want to do, your plan, your goals.
Exactly. Yeah. And
And don't
you've got to
beat
support
yourself
yourself.
up. Don't, yeah,
Right.
don't beat
Exactly.
yourself up if you have a bad day, or you have something, you go off plan. Pick back up with the next lunch, or the next meal, or the next exercise that you're going to do, whatever your goal and your plans are, and you miss it for that moment, just pick back up. And if you don't feel like you can implement some of these things, start with one meal a day. Uh, try it for, like I used to do, try it during the week, try it for the 5 days, you know, just start small, start with some changes, so, and then see how you feel after that. would be amazed.
Yeah, that's very good advice, right? Take it easy, slow and easy, and like a turtle, and keep moving forward no matter what, with with kindness for yourself. Yes.
Yeah, and I've
Oh,
always I kind of like the turtle too. I know JJ. It was so funny because I heard her talking about the turtle, and I've always kind of liked the turtle, and I've used that too. It's kind of like the tortoise and the hare, just slow and steady wins the race. So
exactly, right? So we'll all be turtles and tortoises and just move slowly, but keep moving forward. Very, slowly but surely. So, yes, well, beautiful. All right, well, I want to thank everyone who was here, JJ and James and Rachel, for all your wonderful comments. And of course, Dianna, you for being here with us and sharing your wisdom. And I hope everyone subscribes to Dianna's channel again and my channel and reach out for support. That's what we're here for, is to support you. So thank you, Dianna. I appreciate it.
thank you. Thank
All right,
you.
namaste,
See you
vegan.
tonight on the other side.
Yeah, tonight at game night. Tonight at game night.
Thank you.
Namaste, vegan, everyone.
Yes.
Bye bye.